What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today guys, we're going to start with two SBCs. I might add a third in. I might do Rashford. I'm not going to be doing Rashford here today. We're going to be starting with the FUTMAS Challenge. A really easy SBC for a mega pack. For me, I went and bought Ulreich for 700 coins. And then most of the rest of my club is untradeable. A couple of tradable Germans, untradeable Diallo, untradeable Diop, untradeable Coquelin, untradeable Traore, untradeable Teo, Canales in at Cam, untradeable Doumbia, and untradeable Mata. So mostly untradeable players there for me for a mega pack. The other thing we're going to do today, I might do Rashford. If he, like, 130k, we'll have a look at what we've got as untradables. Yeah, 130k, bang on for Rashford. But first, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to be sweaty. We're going to complete the Lone Campbell. Now, most of these players are also untradeable. So we've got Rui Patricio, untradeable Tovan, Savic for 1,200 coins, Matip for 3,000 coins, and Lovren for 3,000. I actually thought they were untradeable. I might change my opinion on putting those guys in. Aduriz untradeable, Henderson in there, Castillejo untradeable, Fred untradeable, Giuliano untradeable, Moreno untradeable, Leon Bailey untradeable, and Balotelli untradeable. I think we're on the bench at that point. I really thought these guys were untradeable. Let me go and see what I've got from ye old Premier League for untradeable blues. And if there's a few that we can put in there and use, would be nice. Son and Sanchez I don't want to use. James Milner I don't mind using. I don't really want to use these. Ooh. Don't really want to use some of these guys too much. Danny Rose in at left back drops. Oh, that actually keeps our rating, which means James Milner is going to be enough. Oh, that's fantastic. There you go. So it's still the same. It's still like 61 chem. It's still 83 rated. We get rid of Danny Rose that, you know, untradeable don't use. James Milner untradeable don't use. We might as well use that. So there's only a couple of tradables in here. And we get ourselves a Lone Sol Campbell. And we're going to be playing Lone Sol Campbell for the remaining games that we've got here. Now, I'm through 12 games. I'm 10-2 right now. I was 10-1. I got to, what, 5-1. Played some really good FIFA with the team that I changed into. Got to 10-1. Lost. You're about to see the gameplay. I don't know how I lost to the guy that beat me for 10-2. It was a really, really tough loss to take. However, what I wanted to do here, I know using Sol Campbell here is going to be a stress for the people that I'm going to end up coming up against. I really want to test out how good the Sol Campbell / Rio Ferdinand partnership is. Because if it's way better, now is the best time to get rid of Varane. And the reason why I say that is because the market is crashing quite hard. Varane is now down to 190. Just a few days ago, he was up at like 210. So he's come down 20,000 coins in the last few days or so. And it seems like player prices in general are just dropping. So if they do drop, if Sol Campbell is good, I would gladly get rid of Varane, get rid of Courtois, and put Handanovic in goal. A lot of people said, don't use Handanovic, he's bad. I would like to be the judge. In fact, let's also get in Handanovic. Let's pop him in. Hugo Lloris we can sell as well. Let's pop Handanovic in net and have a test. So with basic chem style, he goes to 98 diving, 97 handling, 99 reflexes, and 99 positioning. He's massive at 6'4", not quite the 6'6" of some goalkeepers. But having these two centre-backs like this gives me free reign to play anybody in goal and basically anybody at left back and right back on, at the very least, 8 chemistry. So I like that. If I like this Sol Campbell, I'll do Sol Campbell's proper icon cards. And then we'll work on getting rid of Pogba and getting Lothar Matthäus. Not Matthäus, who is it? Michael Ballack. We'll work on getting Ballack in for that centre midfield role. But with those icons now, like, we honestly have the freedom to try many, many more things. However, for me, I'm going to be using this team for the rest of this weekend league. I'm not going to be switching teams out this weekend league. Mostly just because I just don't want to. I'm very, very, very excited to see if Sol Campbell is at that near post for headers. Yeah, I really just don't want to. I really just don't want to swap teams. I want to try and go and get Elite 3 minimum. After missing out on Elite 3 last week, I want to go back and get there. So on my bench, we've got Pato, a great super sub, Bale, a great super sub, Guilavogui, a great defensive super sub, and Juanfran for the back line. Sturridge as a good attacking super sub, Mkhitaryan as a good cam. We've been subbing him on a lot recently. I really like that card. I am very tempted to start him in here on 7 chem, or alternatively pop Aubameyang on 7 chem and put Mkhitaryan in at cam, because I just like his card a lot. I love the fact that it's another 5-star, 4-star. That would be De Bruyne and Mkhitaryan on 5-star, 4-star. It would be Pogba on 4-star, 5-star. Aubameyang on 4-star, 4-star. And Mbappe on 5-star, 4-star as well. Like, we'd have 5 or 4 at minimum for everyone. And then Makelele in midfield. 3-star, 3-star. But he would be our CDM alongside Pogba still, I suppose. I don't know. We'll decide. We'll see how it goes. But for the next part of this video, guys, I am very tempted to get Marcus Rashford and just try him out. Like, I've got plenty of coins. It's not a big deal. Like, one of the comments in the last video that I actually didn't get around to reading was asking me what I plan to do with my coins. And honestly, I just don't know. I don't know. I might do, I was saving up for Icon SBCs, but is there any real need now? You know, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my coins. I wanted to make sure I had a war chest for Team of the Year, but if EA don't do anything Packway with Team of the Year, then even that's going to be quite useless. So yeah, I genuinely don't know. That Mega Pack was terrible, by the way. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do. Let us have a look on Rashford. It would be good to have that FUTMAS Rashford just for the rest of this weekend league, wouldn't it? Why not? It's only 100k coins or so. We could just spam bronze packs to get this coins back. So we would need 1 Manchester United player and 1 England player. Let's see what I've got untradeable. I don't want to get rid of Anthony Martial for Marcus Rashford. So I would have to go and buy a Manchester United player. In terms of the English player, got Dele Alli in there, 84 rated. He'd be very helpful. We'd then need 2 Team of the Week or ones to watches. Now I actually have some ones to watches and Team of the Weeks. He's a nice high rated Team of the Week, as is he. And we'll take the Spanish because we could get away with using some Spaniards. Where are my ones to watches? So I wonder if I don't have like the high rated ones to watches. I bought him for 14k. Looks like he's up at about no 18k. I mean, I made a few thousand coins on him. I'll just wait. I'll hold on to these ones to watches. I bought them all super low price. So Valeri must have gone up in price. He was selling for like 20k. It looks like he's up at 25k. I'm going to hold on to Valeri for the time being though, because I want to use him for the MLS weekly objective. So we can put in Santa Mina and we can put in Santi Cazorla like that, and then we can just go about filling out a Premier League squad to start with, I guess. I don't want to look at oh wait, is that just my Premier League players? I just don't have any Premier League players. What have I got by way of like 84s and 85s? Have I got any big cards? I know I've got like Karim Benzema. So if we're doing La Liga, we've got James Rodriguez that we could use. Pepe wouldn't be too bad to use. Lopez, Benzema, Javi Martinez, Di Maria. We could definitely start working on some of these guys. So Di Maria can go in. Lopez can go in there. Then we can just go and get the main man for that. Let's swap those around to give a little chem boost there. Javi Martinez can go in as well. Let's actually pop Dele Alli just out the way and throw him up there. I am going to need a Manchester United player. I wonder if we go and purchase Alexis Sanchez. If I went to the French League and got Glick to start, I'm going to need like Marquinhos and one. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe I do use that Adelrami. So we're going to throw Marquinhos in there. Maybe we take out Santa Mina and put in Adelrami and then drop him into that role there. We only need 85 chemistry. I could then get Lucas Vasquez here. Let's just see what we're going to need. Do I have him in the club? No, I don't. So it gets us to 72 chem. Short of, like, honestly, the person that would work here would be Anthony Martial. As crazy as that sounds. Anthony Martial. I could go and get Buffon as well. So Martial only takes me to an 83. The 85 takes me to an 84. So, and is not good enough for chemistry. If I got Buffon, a Gianluigi Buffon, if we swap those two around, that doesn't help at all either. If we did go and get Buffon, it would be a much, much better rating for us. Yes, we'd have to spend 30,000 coins or so to pick him up, but he would be worth it for rating for us. And then if we picked up Alexis Sanchez, to go in that left wing role, that's only 84 rated, which is sad, and 10 chem points away, which we could improve by getting Cesc Fabregas here. Or we could actually pop Cazorla out there and then go and get Thiago in here. A nice 86 rated player. Very nice and cheap. Or rather, not nice and cheap, but one of the cheaper players, isn't he, Thiago? So that would get us to 85 rated. Now, could we reduce the rating by 1? Yes, so we've actually got 1 point leeway here to help get us our 6 chemistry. And I'd have to go and buy a few big players there. You know, Thiago, Sanchez, and Buffon. But we could get rid of 1. We could drop down to an 83 for an English player, or just in general an 83 rated inform. So perhaps now I look at... No, see, Vasquez is important for the chemistry. See, I look at like Santi Mina. We could pop him in there. Take out Adel Rami. The rating, and then put in... Who do we even put in here? I'm going to figure this out, dudes, and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I committed to it. I don't know if I spent more or less than I should have done. We got 24k for Navas. First owner, Jimenez. 2,800 for Nacho Fernandez. So that's like 27. 6k for Dele Alli takes us to 33. 20k for Cazorla takes us to 53. Almost 20k for Thiago takes us to 71. Illaramendi takes us to 75. Alexis Sanchez takes us to 102. Vasquez to about 104. And then Santamina is first owner, as is Benzema. It's in keeping with the general value of about 120,000 coins to 130,000 coins or so. So I don't mind too much. I hope Rashford is the missing link. I hope this Rashford, in spite of his in-game stats, I hope he's just the one that is like, oh my god, he just works, you know? Nice and tall, good work rates, lots of pace. I really hope that he is the one for us that just happens to work very well and give us a great boost in that left cam spot, because that is what we're missing. So like I said, dudes, for the next, I think we were 6-1 when we finished yesterday's episode. I'm now 10-2. So the next 5 games that you, or the first 5 games that you see, are going to be without Campbell and without Rashford. However, the following 1 through 5 games, because I'm going to carry on playing today until I lose, will be with Rashford and Campbell in the team. The reason why I've changed my mind on playing, well, the reason why I'm playing until I lose, guys, is because, do I want Sterling instead of Aspas? I do. Is because, basically, I want to save as many games as I can for Sunday, because that always seems to be where I hit my biggest win rate, right? So, Rashford on 10 chem there. We're going to give him a sniper chem style. It also recommends a sniper chem style. And I kind of just hope that he is everything we've been missing. You know, Martial wasn't the one because of the 4-3. Rashford has 4-4. He's 6-1. He's got high medium. With this chem style, his pace is already electric. He goes to 90 positioning and 97 finishing with 91 shot power, which is great. He's got 82 curve. I wonder if he has any... in-game traits or anything like that. Well, specifically traits. So he has the power free kick and flair, which is pretty interesting. Also has tries to beat defensive line. His passing is good but not great. We could potentially upgrade that with like a Deadeye or something if we don't like this chem style. His agility goes to 99. His balance goes up by 5. Reactions up by 5. Ball control up by 5. Dribbling up by 10, which is a massive boost. And composure up by 5. So I'm really hoping that this Marcus Rashford, who will be... I think I've got to change him... No, he's already on the... He's already on the left-hand side, I believe. So this is how it's going to look in game. De Bruyne at cam, Aubameyang up front, Mbappe and Rashford in the cam spots, Pogba and Makaleli in at CDM, Campbell and Ferdinand in the back line with Lala and Robertson, and then Handanovic in net. All in all, That might, I mean, hey, that might have ended up being an utter waste of coins, guys. Only time will tell. Let's get into some action. Okay, guys, as we go into the gameplay, we've got about 9 or 10 games here, I think. We left yesterday's video at 6-1. I continue playing, as I said to you guys, for a little bit with the Premier League team with, like, you know, Alonso and such. And I switched out to the Sol Campbell team and Marcus Rashford team that you saw at the start of this video basically from 10-2. You guys knew that. So I went from 10-2, and I actually got an amazing record with that team. I went 5-0 with that team. So we're now 15-2 after 17 games, with 13 remaining. You know, I need to get 8 wins from the 13 to go ahead and get Elite 3. So I can go 8-5. I don't know, this is going to sound crazy, right, because I'm on a great run and I'm playing good FIFA in general. I don't know how many games I'm going to play, and that's not because I'm like, oh no, I haven't got time or anything. I'm just getting I'm just getting bored of FIFA, if I'm being perfectly honest, and I wonder if I'm burning myself out again at about the exact same time as I did last year. We'll get to that in a bit, but we've got some comments from today's video, guys. First one is from Bicken. He says, Nepo secretly just wants a full Arsenal team by the end of the year. No secret about it. If every Arsenal SBC or special card that I can get that comes out, I'll absolutely get. We've got Mkhitaryan, we've got Torreira, we've got Aubameyang. I've got Lone Campbell. I suppose that counts to a degree. But yeah, if more Arsenal players got more SBCs that I could get, obviously Socrates I can't get his ones to watch item because I'd have to pay for it or buy it. But yeah, I don't know. I would love a top-end full Arsenal team. You know, if we could get the icons as well. You know, Henry, Vieira, Petit, Overmars, Pires. Who else have we got from the icons? Obviously, Sol Campbell. So yeah, we could get a pretty solid Arsenal team together by the end of it. Next comment is from Jetpack M. He says, personally, Lucas Torreira SBC was extremely value for money. 20 to 30k for a very good Prem midfielder in the game, which the game lacks unless you could spend the big bucks on KDB, Pogba or Kante. And there was a lot of comments just saying like, oh, Nep, you're delusional, Torreira is great value and stuff. I'm not saying he's bad or a bad player or bad value. I'm just saying he's not good enough in those top games. You know those games every weekend, guys? I know you have them because I have them too, where you sit and you think, God damn, I could have won that game. I should have won that game. Torreira will be the guy that lets you down in those games. You know, if you've got someone better, Kante, Ballack, Vieira, Fabinho, you'll turn those, I could have won that or should have won that, into I won that game. I had to fight hard for it, but I won it. I'm not saying that Torreira won't be fun to play with. I think he is, or slash was, good value for money. You know, like 25k from scratch if you had untradables or other players in your club anyway. Less than 25k. He's got good in-game stats. But I personally feel he will let people down in the important games. That's my personal opinion. That's not to say, though, just because I say he's not as great as other players, it's not to say that he's just worthless and unusable or anything like that. I definitely think he would be fun and usable, especially if, you know, like one of the things obviously that people misunderstand, or maybe I don't do good enough explaining, is that having one off player in your whole squad isn't actually the end of the world. For example, we've got our team, our 4-2-3-1 team. I love this team. I think the team is extremely well balanced, but our left cam is a letdown position. Now, I still win multiple games and I still win those tough games and tight games because it's one position for me that is not quite as good as the rest. So if Torreira is in your super team, then it's just, again, it's just one player. It's one position that's not quite as good as the rest. So even then, you'll probably still be able to carry yourself through those tough games. But yeah, I definitely think, I mean, I completed Torreira. I have him in the club. Obviously, I'm happy about him. Jake says, Martinez MVP is your missing cam. Yeah, I'm excited to get that card for next week. If I can fit him into the team on 8 chemistry without having to sub him on, linking him to icons, and making sure the rest of the team stays on 10 chem, I would be delighted. And I think I can. The only problem will be Mbappe, so because it'll be another central player, I'd have to get rid of the wide formation, or I'd have to play Martinez or Aubameyang or De Bruyne on 7 or 8 chem as well. So yeah, I definitely. I mean, he looks fantastic. He really does. I'm excited to get him into the team. He's a little short for my liking. You know, what is he, 5'7"? I just much prefer the taller players in the game this year and last year and the year before. That's just personal preference, though. So for me personally, he's just a little short. But he's got great work rate. It's 4-star, 4-star, really well-rounded stats. Like he is for EA giving him to you just from a weekly objective. I think it's a very, very good card. Jean-Francois Dubé. Another one, Jean. Your comments are very good. He says, hey, Nep, I thought about something a couple of days ago. For one weekend in the weekend league, we could give everyone the participants that participates the whole database of players so that everyone can play with any player. In this case, everyone could try to show what he would be capable of doing with the best teams in FIFA. I think it would bring a lot of people, and it would be only for one weekend league, so no consequence for EA. Would like to know what you think about my idea, even if I know it will never reach EA. I mean, yeah, hey, I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be able to play with every best player in the best position for a whole weekend league. I guarantee you, if that happened, people would still complain because they're just coming up against icon squads all the time. Somebody would have the entitlement to use, you know, just players that they can't afford normally. I don't know, maybe they'll use, who I don't even know, for example. Maybe they'll use Player of the Month for Aubameyang or Player of the Month Hazard because they didn't do him and they just wanted to use him, and they'll come up against like Ronaldo and stuff like, oh my god, it's always Ronaldo. Like that's my opinion. I think people would still find a way to complain even if everybody had unlocked accounts. Christian Gray says, why would you sell your Courtois? Seems dumb to me. Best goalkeeper in the game that you won't pack again. Well, I thought I explained quite clearly in the last episode, but since it got so many thumbs up and was a comment that was issued a couple of times, the reason why I would sell him is because I have 2 great goalkeepers already as backups. I have Fardman, obviously the UCL item, and I have Handanovic. And I played 5 games with Handanovic against great players and great teams, and you'll see those games soon. And I won 5 games with Handanovic and Campbell and Rashford. So for me, it's less about wanting to keep or sell Courtois and more about just negating the cost of completing the actual Sol Campbell, because if we sell Courtois, that's 200,000 coins. We could sell Varane, that's 180,000 coins. And then we could sell Lloris, that's another 100,000 coins. I'd get the best part of 500,000 coins, maybe 450 after tax, straight into the account. And now is a good time for me to sell these cards because they're tanking in price. Like the general market is trending down. So now would be a good time to get out, because if I hold on to Varane and he's worth 180 now and I hold on to him and do Campbell anyway, and I just hold on to him because people are like, oh, don't sell these players because you never know. And then in 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time, I'm never using them because why would I? And then Varane's worth 80k. I'd be sitting there thinking, man, I should have sold him when I could have got 100,000 more coins for him. That's just my personal opinion, my personal preference. Cathal says, hey, Nep, love your vids. You have so many good players. Why not use different cards? You only played 1 game with the French squad, which was the first time we saw you change your team in weeks. Thought this series was about using different players and doing the best you can. You have so many German players. Why not use a Bundesliga squad? Just a thought. Thanks. I think it's unfair to say that I haven't changed my team in weeks. I mean, just this week alone, we've had the French squad, we've had the Premier League squad with all the upgraded cards and Torreira and Mkhitaryan and Alonso, and now we're playing with a squad with the FUTMAS Rashford, with Sol Campbell's loan, and with Handanovic. So just this week, we've changed our squad multiple times. Last week, we started playing with 2 squads, or was it the week before? The week before last, we started playing with 2 squads, and within those 2 squads, we've also changed our players around. We initially had Coutinho in the second team, which had like Pato in it and such. And we changed that, and we took Coutinho out, and we started playing Luis Suarez in there because we got another great cam. I think if you actually look back at it and take any bias out of it, I think you'll see that we changed the squads a lot. The problem is that the core structure of the squad is exactly the same. So there's always like a good 8, maybe 9 players that are the same, and then 2 or 3 players that we change each week, trying to improve or differ or experiment or experience fun with other players. So I think it's unfair to say that I haven't changed the squad in weeks, right? The other thing that you say is and this is where it becomes tricky for the series in general, is that you say, I thought this series was about using different players and doing the best you can. as we've learnt this year in FIFA, you can't use different players and do the best you can. You can either use different players or do the best you can. So for me, to use a Bundesliga squad, which I agree with you, I've got a lot of good Bundesliga players. I've got a lot of, like, I don't have a full Bundesliga outfit, to be fair. I've got some good Bundesliga players, but I don't have good fullbacks. I don't have good attackers. I've got a good midfield and a good back line. Like it's like basically the centre of my Bundesliga squad would be good. But you know, I've got like Thorgan Hazard, and I don't have Werner, I don't have Royce, I don't have any good left back, I don't have Alba, I don't have Piszczek, like I don't have anything good from the Bundesliga really. But yeah, from what you say, you know, if I want to do the best I can, I've got to use the best team possible for me. And if I want to experience different players and have fun with this series, I will have to start really understanding that I won't even finish Gold 1. I will finish Gold 2 or Gold 3 because it is such a hindrance to play with these players that I will just lose games. Like, look, the up until 10 wins and 2 losses, we used the French team and then the Premier League team that I didn't really like. I can't tell you guys how difficult it was in some of those games against really poor players, with no disrespect to my opponents, players that just didn't really understand the core game mechanics, didn't really understand how to abuse the OP mechanics, had lesser squads, and I struggled against them because of the fact I was using not the most ideal players for my position. So that's my view on that. Lewis Gilmore says, Net, what's your gameplay like this weekend? Every game I've have been in this weekend, whether it be champs or rivals, has been shocking. Button delay, speed up lag, misplaced passes under no pressure, terrible touches, players feel stuck in the mud, etc. I could go on. I'm currently in Silver 2 in champs and I don't even feel like playing anymore already. It's shocking how chunky this game is months into release. So for me, in terms of the whole delay and stuff thing, again, I feel like people just take one thing I say, blow it disproportionately out of context, and then run with that as gospel forever. Right, so when I tweeted and discussed in videos in detail about me thinking that a lot of people blame delay a lot of the time when actually it's not delay. For example, perhaps they're using a TV instead of a monitor, perhaps they're using wireless internet instead of regular internet, or wired internet, should I say. Perhaps they're using... Perhaps they're in a region that has just bad connectivity to the servers, in which case, obviously, that's not their fault, that's EA's fault. Perhaps they've connected to the wrong server and they don't understand what that means or how that plays. And perhaps they're just bad. Perhaps they're just getting outplayed and they're looking for an excuse and an outlet to blame something other than themselves. When I tweeted that, people now tweet me, I'm personally now not allowed to complain about delay or input lag or gameplay issues. And anytime I say anything, people are like, oh, you don't even believe in delay. Like, it's not that I don't believe in delay. It's not that I haven't experienced delay. I have experienced delay. I just don't experience it anywhere near as much as other people or what other people claim to experience it. And I didn't understand what it was when people would talk about what bad gameplay or good gameplay was, or server delay or button delay, until I started getting pieces of information from all different angles that had allowed me to make a more informed and educated opinion. And from that, what I got was, first and foremost, there's a guy called Jamie Funnell who is, he's been in the industry for many years. I've known him and worked with him over the years. He's always on Reddit and always on Twitter with great information about this game. And he was showing something that Inception has shown before, where you can actually connect to the wrong server. So me in the UK, I should be connecting into the German servers, right? But sometimes you will connect for whatever reason. Might be your fault, might be EA's fault. You might connect to the West Coast server. So you might connect into California. And that is obviously a problem, because that means you're playing against someone in the EU, but you're transmitting your data through California. Now, if they're connected to the German servers, you've got a mismatch there. You're going to have a tough game. On top of that, people would always talk about 1 to 2 second button delay, and I'm just like, I've never experienced 1 to 2 second button delay. Like, in FIFA terms, do you understand how much 1 to 2 seconds is? It's a lot, right? So I always said to people, if you've got 1 to 2 second button delay, film it, because you could film your hand pressing a button and then the action on the TV happening 1 to 2 seconds later, and nobody could ever do that for me. I saw some tweets about it. I think one of the pro players, it might have even been MS Dosari, he was showing that, you know, he'd hold left, and then it would take ages before the ball would go left or the player would go left. So there are instances where there is genuinely 1 to 2 seconds button delay, but I couldn't understand this. So over time, I got more informed opinions from you guys, from people on Twitter, from things that I read on Reddit and things that I'd seen on streams and such. And it turns out that actually even 1/10 a second button delay is enough to make gameplay feel and be incredibly terrible. And the reason is because if you remember from a video a few days ago, we talked about the passing mechanics and how, because they're so reactionary, that if you've even got a 10th second button delay, so if you're connected into the wrong server, in that instance, you're going to have horrible gameplay because your passes are not going to go where they're going because of what I explained before. When you pass to 12 o'clock and then you want to run towards the 9 o'clock angle with your player, so you press pass and then you immediately turn into 9 o'clock, what's actually going to happen with that 1/10 second button delay is you're not going to have passed it first. You're going to have moved the controller first, so your pass is going to go to an angle you didn't want it. We've talked about it in detail before. So in terms of gameplay, I feel like even though I still don't suffer too much bad gameplay, I can now really, really see, feel, and understand the games in which I'm either connected to the wrong server or I'm getting bad, laggy gameplay. And even then, for me, it's still not often. Now, I thought I never really got it, but I actually get it more commonly than I thought I did, but it's still not often. I probably get bad gameplay or button delay or input lag or whatever we're going to call it 1 in 10 games. When I spot it, when I recognize it, I will immediately restart my console after that game is finished, whether I win or lose, because that will reinitiate me into another server, hopefully into the server that I should be in. And then I will get, hopefully, better gameplay. Now, of course, some people that are still in regions and nations that don't have great connections to the EA servers or don't have servers that are close by, you're still going to suffer. You're still going to struggle, right? But for most of us that complain about it in EU and in NA and such, specifically the West Coast NA, you guys have options available that you can use that can help you. So, in terms of this weekend, for Lewis's comment, I've had bad gameplay in 3 games this weekend. The first game was the game that I lost on my main account. I was on stream, and you can just see, like, again, like Lewis says, I'm making passes that just aren't aren't where I'm aiming. I had one specific instance in a game. This is with my super team, with my icon team and such. I've got the ball with my right back. I've got 2 midfielders right in front of him, wide open, like no one near him, no pressure at all. And then I've got my right cam up the field. Basically got my 2 CDMs in great spot, open for a pass. My right cam up the field marked by a left back and a left central defensive midfielder. And I know where I've aimed the pass. I've aimed the pass not to anyone specifically, but into the general direction of the 2 CDMs. So, you know, I'm aiming at essentially 5 o'clock, right? Sorry, 7 o'clock on a clock. I'm aiming at 7 o'clock in that angle down to 2 CDMs. What I've then done is I've tried to push upwards towards, like, I don't know, 12, 1 o'clock so that I could turn around with these CDMs and make a further pass. Because of the bad delay, I've pushed up before it's recognised my pass angle, and the right back has tried to pass it up to the right cam, and I've given up the ball. He's countered me and scored a goal. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not acceptable. So that was one bad gameplay for me personally, and I ended up losing because the guy had a good team and he was a good player, and because of button delay, I was fighting against the elements. Do you know what I mean? I was fighting against EA. I wasn't fighting against my opponent. I was playing against my opponent, but I was fighting against EA. So that was one bad game that I had this weekend that I lost. I also had one bad game. Game 2 of this weekend league was terrible for me. Again, I could feel the passing, I could feel the delay, I could feel, you know, when like the way you can tell if you've got bad gameplay, or in my personal opinion and perspective, or if you've got input delay, or if you need to reset your console to log on to a new servers, is how bad the passing is when you're under no pressure to make easy passes. And in game 2, I'm fighting against the elements. Fortunately enough for me, the guy wasn't very good to the point where I was still able to win the game in spite of having bad gameplay. So that was me thinking to myself, okay, let me restart FIFA again, and then went on a streak, won loads of games. We got to 10-1, no problem at all. The game that I lost that you saw in this game for 10-2, that was another game where I got so frustrated because that guy wasn't great. his keeper made 11 saves. I dominated the game. I missed 3 penalties, which was my problem. I missed simple chances because the game's not playing how it should play. So I end up losing that game that would have put me 11-1. I go 10-2 because of the fact that the game was playing bad. And then, like I say, we reset the game, we built a new team, and we won 5 out of 5 after that against great players with great teams. As you've just seen, some of the teams that I played against were amazing. The last 2 games that I played, those players were amazing. And so, yeah, for me, this weekend so far, across 2 accounts, I've played... I'm 17 games in on this account, and I'm 7 games in on the other account. So 24 games I've played this weekend, and I've had bad gameplay in 3 of those games. Now... it would have been more if I didn't know what to look out for and how to change it. So if after, the game where I lost for 10-2, if I didn't reset my game and restart and go again and get back into another connection or a better lobby or a better server or whatever, I might have spent the next 3 or 4 games playing in bad gameplay. I might have lost 2 or 3 of those, and my weekend would have gone terrible, and I would have just been angry and just frustrated. But fortunately enough, I knew what to look out for. I fixed it, and I ended up getting back into a good server and into some good gameplay. So yeah, for me, dude, it's just stupid how we even have to have this discussion. I talked about this before as well when I was talking about the fact that we're talking about delay and input lag and people experience bad gameplay. This is 2018. We're nearly in 2019. FIFA are a company, $1 billion corporation. We shouldn't be talking about bad lag, bad gameplay, heavy servers. We just shouldn't be. It is frustrating. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the end for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.